Mexico City for tonight's Concacaf W Champions Cup match as Club América of Liga MX Femenil hosts the Orlando Pride of the NWSL. Hello everyone, I'm Maura Sheridan. Thank you so much for joining me here tonight on this lovely night in Mexico City. Just a little under 70 degrees Fahrenheit and a little bit humid as these two teams, these two clubs are meeting for the first time. This is the first ever Concacaf W Champions Cup appearance for the Orlando Pride, and this is the second time that America has competed in this tournament. Well, let's take a look at the Group A standings. As you see, America is ahead of Orlando at the moment. However, Club America has played more matches. They're unbeaten with 2 wins and a draw, but Orlando with 2 victories, if they win tonight, will take sole control of Group A. Well, both of these teams arriving here in Mexico City. This is a tournament with 10 clubs participating from North America, Central America, and the Caribbean. And the goal ultimately to crown a champion. Each team gets 2 away and 2 home matches, and the top 2 teams from each group will move on to the semifinal. America did that in the last tournament, 2024-2025, but ultimately lost in the semifinal to eventual champions Gotham FC of the NWSL. And for Orlando, they are the reigning champs in the NWSL, also won the Shield in 2024, so they find themselves competing in these group stage matches for the first time in club history. But the winner of this entire tournament will qualify for the FIFA Women's Champion Cup and for the FIFA Women's Club World Cup. So there's a lot on the line, and both these teams focusing on this game because, as I said, this is a battle for first place in Group A.
Damas y caballeros, démosle la bienvenida a la Copa de Campeonas de Concacaf W a los equipos de Club América Femenil y Orlando Pride.
right, just about ready to go here. Concacaf W Champions Cup, Club América versus the Orlando Pride. As we'll take a look at the starting 11s for both sides. We'll begin with the home team, América, playing a 3-4-3. Sandra Paños is back in net. Both Rodriguez's will lead the pack in that 3-back. And Guerrero is a player to watch out for, has a hat trick already in this tournament. And Soto, Palacios, and Saldivar up top. That is a dangerous trio for América. A team, too, that hasn't allowed a goal over the course of this tournament, is coming off of a win against Pachuca, their Liga MX Femenil rivals. It was a 1-0 victory. However, the goal scorer in that game, Scarlett Camberos, is not available tonight. She's not even on the bench for América, so they'll have to do without her. She has 7 goals, too, over the course of the Liga MX Femenil season, so that is certainly a big loss tonight. Odette Hamilton out of Jamaica is our center referee as the two captains meet in the middle. Palacios for América, and Luana is the captain today for the Orlando Pride. As we take a look at Orlando's starting 11, coached by Seb Hines, McKinley Crone gets her second start of this tournament. She's not the regular starter in NWSL play, the backup keeper usually. For Orlando, Emily Sams, reigning Defender of the Year, will head up that back line. Summer Yates coming off of a hat trick in the last match against Trio. And then Chanda, the Zambian, will lead this team in the attack. Julie Doyle also has a goal over the course of this tournament as well. And there's your starting 11 for Orlando, wearing purple kits tonight on the road. A final meeting for the Pride. This is their 3rd game so far of this tournament, so they've played 1 less than América. No final words for América, trying to hold on to this Group A lead right now. This is a competitive group. Mentioned Pachuca. It was a surprising result to get that hard-fought 1-0 victory. And now that they face this NWSL side in Orlando. There's McKinley Crone. Did start a game for the Pride in this tournament against Alajuelense. Just had to make 1 save in that shutout victory. Well, the countdown has started, and it will be the home side, América, to start with possession, and we are underway. Club América, the Orlando Pride, Group A of the Concacaf W Champions Cup. It is the group stage. Okiki, a little bit of pressure there from Simone Charlie. Simone Charlie, the target player for Orlando tonight. And tripping up there, Summer Yates gets the call. Summer Yates a hat trick against Trio in the last match for Orlando. Gets tangled up there with the defense. Yates hasn't scored in NWSL play so far, but obviously a breakout game to secure that victory. It was a 5-0 win for Orlando against Trio in their last match here in Concacaf W Champions Cup play. Off the service, Carson Pickett, and it bounces through past Paños. Nobody gets a shot off there. Angel Villacampa, the head coach here for América. Been with the club since 2022. Karina Rodriguez. Nearly tackled away by Luana. Luana, the Brazilian, getting the nod today as the captain for Seb Hines, 2024 NWSL Coach of the Year. Right now, Orlando in league play is struggling a little bit, but they are coming off of a 2-1 victory against San Diego this weekend. That win for Orlando snapped what was 9 games without a victory over the course of this regular season. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that Orlando has lost Barbara Banda, a Zambian superstar, had 17 goals last year. Part of the reason that they're in this Concacaf W Champions Cup because they won the Shield and won the championship, and Banda was the turning point for this entire club. She's been out with a season-ending injury after scoring 8 goals in the 2025 season for the NWSL, so they're trying to put the pieces together offensively and figure out who's going to be the #1 option. Gutierrez. Off the combination, looking for the service here, América, and Crone scoops it up. Anna Morehouse is the typical starting keeper for Orlando. Although Crone does have 1 start. It was against Bay FC in a 1-1 draw in September, and that was a coach's decision after 5 goals were allowed against the Chicago Stars. Sono. Okiki, the Nigerian. Kimberly Rodriguez. Intercepted there by Grace Chanda. Her first year with Orlando. Gutierrez. Now the Pride sitting back here defensively. This team, 23 goals allowed. Orlando, that's 3rd best in the NWSL. Meanwhile, Club América is in a great position league-wise as well. They're in 3rd, just behind Tigres and Pachuca, the usual suspects in Liga MX Femenil. Gutierrez with a burst of speed, keeps her head on a swivel against Oyane. Just a little difficult there for Guerrero. Luana swerves, and a Carson Pickett. The 32-year-old, some space here on this near side flank. He's looking for Julie Doyle. Okiki. Doyle on her back. Now Julie Doyle has dealt with a knee injury this NWSL season, but does have 2 goals in Concacaf W Champions Cup. The first game for Orlando was a 3-0 win against the Costa Rican side, Alajuelense. And it wasn't until the second half that Orlando scored all of their goals. Ran into a fantastic performance by Bermudez, the goalkeeper for Alajuelense. Same thing actually happened to Club América. Ran into a fantastic performance by Bermudez, who had 9 saves in their match. And ultimately, that was a scoreless draw for América. Frustrating game. They outshot Alajuelense 27-7, but still just walked away with a point. Antonio Chavoshi now for Orlando. Emily Sams, 2024 NWSL Defender of the Year. Play as an outside back or a center back. They're using her as center back today. Luana. Chanda. Rocking the purple hair now for Orlando. Centrally, América. Oh, Club América has scored 45 goals through 13 matches in Liga MX Femenil play, an incredible mark. Just allowed 16 as well. It looks like Oyane's a little bit uncomfortable for Orlando. This could be a gift now for América, but it's swiped. Chavoshi stays strong. Well, América was looking for Saldivar, their leading scorer in league play. She has 12 goals, the 19-year-old. Certainly a player to watch out for, has also scored in this competition as well. I mentioned Barbara Banda and the injury, how that's affected the Orlando season. But first, Antonio on the wing, stumbles. Could be costly And slicing back through, looking for a shot. Crone with the save, second chance, yes! Palacios finishes, and America leads. Well, after that stumble out wide, you thought maybe there's not going to be much of a build here. Maybe not a quality service, as Orlando would have time to close down. A credit to the home side, just continuing to create. And Kiana Palacios in the right spot to finish the job. And here's a look at Antonio just falling over the ball, so Carson Pickett has time, but it's a great pass. Crone makes the stop, but off the rebound and the shot from Villamala, Palacios, who scored 2 goals against Trujillo in a 9-0 win for America. That's her 3rd of this tournament and an early lead for the home side. It's also the first goal that Orlando has given up in this tournament so far after 2 shutout victories in a row. And now we see how Orlando responds. Haven't found themselves in this position in this tournament. And if you're America, a dream start. Pickett, Doyle. Soto slides for it, the 18-year-old. And Summer Yates wins it back here for Orlando. Doyle, 1v1 against Rodriguez. And it will be a corner kick for the Pride. Now the first corner kick that we've seen of this match, it's Summer Yates to take it. Orlando looking for the equalizer. Through the air, it's out for Ollane. The Spanish international. Back to Chanda. Opportunity for a second ball here for the Pride. And it's slammed right into a defender, so here comes another corner kick. Carson Pickett on the in-swinger. Panos has it. And some friendly fire there as she runs into her own defender, Sandra Panos, 32-year-old goalkeeper. Kept a clean sheet against Pachuca, made 2 saves, her 4th clean sheet in tournament history. So she actually passes Ann-Katrin Berger for the all-time record. This is only the 2nd ever Concacaf W Champions Cup. Joined this America roster in 2024 after a long career with Barcelona, Panos did. 160 appearances with Barcelona. Antonio, the Mexico City native. Tavoshi. Luana gets a touch to Charlie. Simone Charlie being pestered and fouled. Kimberly Rodriguez commits. Rodriguez from Texas has been with America since 2022. As we take another look at this, Simone Charlie just getting healthier again for Orlando. She had back back-to-back Achilles tears. So she was out for 2 years. In fact, when she appeared August 3rd for the Pride, she hadn't played a soccer game in 854 days. An incredible feat that she's able to come back from 2 devastating injuries. Some pressure for the Pride. Paños. Okiki. Antonio. Palacios, who has the lone goal in this game. Antonio. Chavoshi. Oh, the rookie's gonna get there before Villamala. Here's a look at this shot from Villamala that resulted in the goal. And Villamala signed just a couple months ago, July 2025. Had 2 first-half goals against Chorrillo. And she was signed from Barcelona. Been a part of the Spanish national team, Euro qualifiers. Oh, a tough collision there. Oyane's down. Trying to stretch it out as we see this challenge. Yeah, just knocking feet there. Gutierrez and Oyane. Sams. Doyle. Luana. A clean takeaway. Palacios. Guerrero. Swerving through. Guerrero was a World Cup winner with Oyane on the other side, both with Spain in 2023. Cut off there by Carson Pickett. Summer Yates. Plays it long for Chanda. And there's the bench for America, or excuse me, for Orlando. Jackie Ovalle, opponent they're very familiar with. Jackie Ovalle was formerly with Tigres, had an incredible career in Liga MX Femenil. And this is tough to see as Summer Yates, who had dealt with some injuries over the course of this NWSL season. It was actually an ankle injury. Looks like she twisted it again. Very uncomfortable and a bunch of pain. And coming off that hat trick, disappointing. We'll see if she's able to continue or if Seb Hines has to make an early sub. You'll see this again. It's just non-contact as she plants that left foot. Certainly twists it, Yates. Okiki's down 2 now for America. And Paños checking on her. So a couple players getting warm. We'll see if early subs have to be made for both sides. It doesn't look like Yates has stepped back onto the pitch yet. Okiki appears to be all right, although she collides there with Julie Doyle. Now Okiki is holding her left leg. Now for Orlando, it's Julie Doyle in the aftermath. She grabs her left leg. Getting stretched out here. This is a tough trip. I mean, this is a tough tournament for teams. Everybody's in season, and so traveling for these midweek games, and it's a lot on the bodies of these players. But of course, they want to win some more trophies for their club. They want to win Concacaf W Champions Cup. The winner qualifies for the FIFA Women's Champions Cup and for FIFA Women's Club World Cup. So just bringing each club to an even bigger international stage. Last year's winner was in the NWSL, Gotham FC. They continue to have success in this tournament in 2025, 2026. So it does look like Summer Yates has to come out. So Simone Jackson will come in here for Orlando, and Seb Hines. Simone Jackson scored against Alajuelense in the 81st minute, so she does have a goal, signed May 29th after a college career in the United States. 22 years old. And Julie Doyle, good to see she's able to continue for Orlando. Okiki. Guerrero. Gutierrez for América. Game 2 for Club América, 9-0 against Chorrillo. It was the most lopsided game of this tournament so far in any matches. And it was good response after that scoreless draw against Alajuelense, in which on paper, América should have won. Saldivar. Antonio off the service, and it's over the crossbar, hits the top of the netting. Well, the Pride on their bench don't necessarily have some of their big players. Saldivar the other way, poked by Carson Pickett. Marta is not on the bench. Legendary Brazilian player, just nominated for a Ballon d'Or. Not available tonight. Haley McCutcheon, the typical 6 for the Pride, not available. From Karina Rodriguez. Off the service, Antonio, headed away by Luana. Jackson, heavy touch. And possession is kept here with América. Kimberly Rodriguez. Saldivar. It's just one of the most exciting young Mexican players. Will surely become a staple with the senior national team, but has competed the U20 level with Mexico as recently as the 2025 Concacaf Championship, in which she led Mexico to the final. They ultimately lost to Canada, but did qualify for the U20 World Cup, which she's already participated in with Mexico. Still just 19 years old. Pickett. Doyle. Sams. Oyane. Simone Jackson being bothered, dispossessed there. Guerrero. Simone Charlie off the steal. Here comes Orlando. Through the middle, Charlie fires, blocked. Hops to Chanda. Can't really corral it in. And a chance to counter here for America. Oh, they don't have numbers, so they'll just keep possession. Soto. Alexis Soto was an academy product for America, but also a part of that U20 Concacaf roster for Mexico that finished as runners-up with Saldivar. Villacorta gets fouled by Soto, taken down. It was a tough challenge there. And Villacorta might need some medical attention. Viviana Villacorta has only played 83 minutes in the NWSL regular season, but she lands on her back and then looks like she might have hit her head while going down as well, which is always concerning, yeah. It's certainly painful, and the training staff and referee Hamilton wants to be cautious with head injuries. Well, every time there's been a stoppage, Okiki for America has had to stretch out a little bit. This concussion protocol for Villacorta. Orlando has already had to make a change because of an injury to Summer Yates in this first half. There's potential that they use a second sub here. Oh, this is Palacios, the captain. There's fancy footwork there for America, and the goal scorer in this one as well. Has 51 caps with the Mexican national team, 13 goals with Mexico as well. Kiana Palacios, a great leader for Club America. Been with the club since 2021. Last time that America won a Liga MX title, Palacios was on the team. Klaus Serra in 2023. Off the left foot of Carson Pickett, untouched. Sams. Luana. Jackson. Grace Chanda. Picking up speed. No shot. Villacorta. And lifted out of play from Pickett. Oh, Carson Pickett was a game changer when she came on in the second half against Alajuelense. At the time, there was no score, and Pickett came in as an energizer, and immediately Orlando found the back of the net. She also scored a goal herself. That definitely was an X factor in that match. On her second stint with the Orlando Pride, originally with Orlando from 2018 to 2020, when she joined Racing Louisville. Villacorta falls. Antonio Guerrero gets her first. Palacios. The little tap into Oyane. Oyane makes a run, breaking lines with that pass from Sams. Looking for Charlie. Panos got her fingertips on that one. And a corner kick on the way for Orlando. Well, I think this was really meant as a pass for Charlie, but Panos a little bit off her line and gets tested on that one. Jackson off her right foot, header, Chanda. Panos has it. Off the bounce, the keeper brings it in here for América. Javoshi. Saldivar in a battle. A little extracurriculars there. Luana. Sams. From McKinley Crone. Chavoshi switching the point of attack to Carson Pickett. Sams. And Charlie surveys. Antonio is looking for Saldivar. Villamala taken off the ball. We're half an hour in. This is the lone goal from Kiana Palacios. And América up on Orlando. Palacios scoring in the 7th minute of this game. Charlie, if she can get there, no. Well, the Pride have not tested Panos much in this game so far. The top 2 teams from each group move on to the semifinal, but with Pachuca in this group, Orlando doesn't want to mess around too much. For Club América, this is their final game in the group stage, so now it's a waiting game for them. Orlando has one more match after this, and it is against Pachuca at home at Inter-Co Stadium, where the Pride play. So depending on how this shakes out, that could decide who moves on to the semifinal. Chavoshi surging forward, and her pass is intercepted, intended for Simone Jackson. Karina Rodriguez. Played in the NWSL for the Washington Spirit 2021-2022 before joining this América side. Her sister Anika plays for Tigres. So both competing in Concacaf W Champions Cup. Pickett wraps that around. Here's Julie Doyle on this left side. Settles. 1v1 with Rodriguez, who tackles it away. Looking for a transition moment here. Daldavar. Right into the head of Chavoshi. Hit her on the chin. I'm surprised we didn't stop play there. And now Hamilton does. Yeah, just point blank to the face. That's stunning if nothing else, but obviously concussion protocol is important here. And that's a test being done right now. In terms of options to bring in, if Chavoshi can't continue, Rafaeli would be the likely option at center back for Orlando. Still getting that concussion test, Chavoshi. And Luana Oyane, McKinley Crone. Villacampa talking to his side as well. Not comfortable with this lead, although this Orlando team has struggled to score this year. 27 goals, 8 of them coming from Barbara Banda, who's not available anymore. And even with that, 27 goals is just 10th best in a league of 14 in the NWSL. So Okiki, who just kept getting stretched out every time there was a stoppage in play, looks like she's not going to be able to continue. Annie Mejia comes in. So both of these teams having to make a change, in the first half, because of apparent injuries. Summer Yates coming off. Simone Jackson came in. Palacios missed header. Good news for Orlando. Chavoshi stepping back on the pitch. Pickett now plays it across to Sams. A bit of a dangerous ball, just could have been picked off. Villacorta. Chanda charging forward. Grace Chanda weaving through, moving to her right. Dish off to Charlie, now to her left. Charlie shoots. Paños has it. That's the best build that we've seen from Orlando in this match. Palacios, Guerrera. Villacorta. Luana. Simone Charlie, no. Chavoshi. Doyle. Off the turn. Crone. Villacorta, Sams. And it's a bad pass. Pounced on by Antonio. Chavoshi trying to win it back defensively for the Pride. Karina Rodriguez, outside back, making a run, and a pileup with Chavoshi. Here's a look at this Orlando chance earlier. Grace Chanda, quick little pass to Simone Jackson. Moves it to her left, but didn't have to move too much on that. Paños. That is a corner kick for América. The Villamala will start this. A little pushing and shoving Gutierrez and Chanda. It's Guerrera actually on the outswinger. Simone Charlie heads it away. Palacios. Palacios shoots. Man, she was close to tucking that in the corner. Proving why she is consistently a part of that Mexican national team. Luana. Chanda. Saldivar. Offside. Pretty clearly there. Well, 5 minutes to go in this first half. Palacios has the only goal for América. Oyane. Quick combination with Jackson. Off the cross, out to Jackson, edge of the 18. Luana on a reset here for Orlando. Sams. Luana powers through. Oyane. Tackled away by Gutierrez. Chanda. Intercepted. Palacios gets back. Saldivar didn't have numbers there. Carson Pickett off her left foot. Rising Chanda. And a high kick there. Looks like Chanda's gonna get a warning from Hamilton, our center referee. Saldivar was in front. Chanda sprinting, now surveys, and a heavy touch right into Kimberly Rodriguez. Grace Chanda just hasn't had a lot of experience in NWSL play this year. In fact, she's only played 36 minutes. Now, she's had more experience with this Orlando team in the Concacaf W Champions Cup. Came really close to scoring against Alajuelense. You have to imagine if this game continues and Orlando can't create more, that we'll see Jackie Ovalle coming off her first goal with the Pride. Guerrero. Chavoshi. There are quite a bit of injuries in this first half, so I am imagining we're gonna have a decent chunk of stoppage time here. Crone. Luana. Chavoshi collects the pass. That was a little bit off to Sams. 4 minutes of stoppage time in this first half between América and the Orlando Pride. Doyle. Two defenders trapping her. Julie Doyle gets loose. And Rodriguez closing in. Here comes a corner kick for the Pride. Can they find the equalizer before the break? Simone Charlie might be the answer. Jackson drops down off the face of Chanda. Villacorta. Wide. Jackson offside is the call against Orlando. There's a look at it, just barely. Jackson. Chavoshi. Sams. Oyane. Luana. Villacorta in that circle for Orlando. 2 minutes to go in this first half. Crone. That's mishit there. Looking for that heel pass to Antonio. Doesn't connect there. Chavoshi. Saldivar. Off the body of Jackson. Guerrero. Rodriguez. Antonio. Antonio is the one to start what ended up being the goal for Club América. Wide with it, she fell, and it looked like nothing was really going to come, or she stumbled, I should say, come out of her service, but she gets a very solid cross off, and it results in a shot from Villamala that's ultimately saved by Crone, and then Palacios crashing in, finishes the job. That was in the 7th minute of this game. América, can they add another one here? Antonio takes a shot, and it bounces wide. Chavoshi dealing with Saldivar. Well, now Orlando just trying to weather this storm before the end of the half. Looks like Luana having a bit of a nosebleed, something they'll have to address at halftime. Guerrero on the outswinger. Charlie rises for it and heads it away. And that's the final moment of this first half. 1-0 the score. Club América up on the Orlando Pride after 45 minutes of play. The lone goal from Kiana Palacios for América. The home side leads. We'll take a break and we'll come back with highlights from this first half after this. Let's take a look at the highlights. Concacaf W Champions Cup. It's the first time these two teams have met, and it's for first place in Group A. And you see a quick stumble there for Club América's Antonio. Doesn't matter. Quality shot off from Villamala. It causes Crone to have to make a diving save, which means Palacios can finish the job and make it 1-0. América in the 7th minute finds the back of the net against the Orlando Pride. Now, both these teams unbeaten coming into this match. And it turned out to be a pretty physical game. Ollane, Simone Charlie, Gutierrez. And that's a fight you expect to see when you consider what's on the line here. Remember, the top two teams move on to the semi-final. And this was a very unfortunate turn of events for Orlando as Summer Yates twisted her ankle. She had to come out of the game. Okiki also had to come out of the game, a defender for Club América. So both of these sides having to make changes in the first half as well. Already burning one sub. There's a look from América. Villacorta went through concussion protocol. The training staff came out and tested her, and she was able to continue. Julie Doyle with an awkward landing there, but Palacios just great movement on the ball. Paños, just a little touch on the fingertips. That one slammed into the head of Chavoshi. It's going to be a little bruised, I think, after this one. This is the best look for Orlando. It's Simone Jackson, who was the change. She's the replacement for Summer Yates. But it's not too difficult of a stop for Paños. Going to have a better look there for Orlando if they want to test a player that's been to a World Cup in Paños. Oh, here are the stats in this game. Everything's very even, but you see América has much more possession than Orlando, something that the Pride want to change after this. Well, we'll come back with the second half here. Concacaf W Champions Cup, 1-0 the score. América up on Orlando. Welcome back to Mexico City, Mexico. As we get ready to start the second half, the Orlando Pride Club América Concacaf W Champions Cup. And right now it is a 1-0 lead for the home side, América, thanks to their captain, Kiana Palacios, who tallied in the 7th minute of this match. They've held on to the lead since. It will be Orlando to start with possession. Now the Pride, 2 straight wins. Looking to remain unbeaten, but they have some work to do. A couple of subs for Orlando. First, we'll kick off. Luana, the captain, looking to lead the way for this Pride team. Had scored 5 goals in their last game against Chorrillo and 3 in their first game against Alajuelense. And I said this in the first half, but 3 goals in the second half of that Alajuelense game. So certainly capable of this turning it up a notch. And we're underway here in Mexico City. Guerrero. Oyane. Villacorta. Saldivar. Carson Pickett, bit of a heavy touch. Palacios. Rafaeli comes in here for Orlando. It's going to replace Emily Sams. That's the change at center back, and then Prisca Chalufia enters the game and takes out Simone Charlie. There's Chalufia, aggressive. A little too aggressive, that's the call. Rafaeli, the Brazilian center back who joined this Orlando team in 2023 in July of that year after being transferred from Arsenal. Hasn't been healthy this year, finally healthy again. From March until August 3rd, she was out with a hamstring issue. And competed in the World Cup in Brazil in 2023, or the World Cup with Brazil in 2023. And Prisca Chalufia, certainly a player with Barbara Banda out that Orlando's hoping they can get going offensively. Has 2 goals over the course of this NWSL regular season. The Zambian joining the club. And for Chalufia, has a foul there, just too overzealous. Takes out Gutierrez. I got beat there, and then Chalufia fouls. Guerrero drops down for Orlando. In transition, Chalufia makes a run. Turning on the Jets. Prisca Chalufia. Edge the 18, looking for a cross. Paños is there. Already better for Orlando, especially in transition when you add the speed of Chalufia. We saw both of these teams have to make early subs in the first half because of injuries. Summer Yates came out for Orlando, and Simone Jackson replaced her. And then we saw Okiki come in for Club América, or excuse me, come out for Club América. Annie Mejia replaced her. That's still the lone sub for América in this game. 3 used for Orlando. Chavoshi. Pickett. Chanda. Villacorta. And Saldivar both going at it there. Well, the intensity is probably going to pick up in a close game like this when you consider the fact that this is to decide, not to decide, but to take control of the group. And for Club America, this is their final group stage game, so want to just give themselves some wiggle room, a little bit of cushion, and put themselves in a really good position to move on to the semifinal when you consider that their main opponents that they would have to compete against to win this group be Orlando and Pachuca, and they would, if they can hang on here, beat both of those teams back to back too. Chavoshi plays it long. Paños forced to pick it up. Paños. Gutierrez for America. Now Saldivar, and it rolls right to Chavoshi. Luana. Guerrero. And Luana gets booked. First yellow card that we've seen in this game. Another look at this. Yeah, was well behind Guerrero. Denies a promising attack there. Crone directing traffic. Guerrero. Back to Guerrero. Using the width, off a cross. Palacio was the intended target. Lifted, back post. Hits the top of the netting. Villamala was looming on that far post, but the service wasn't quite right. Credit to America. They've looked threatening in moments, but really, they've just been tough to break down for this Orlando team, specifically in the midfield. Regained a lot of possession. We saw at halftime, possession was quite lopsided in favor of America, 65%. Guerrero and Soto have done very well in this match. And the press has been paying off too. Now have to race back though, Chalufia on the takeaway. The Zambian, that's touched away, but it is a corner kick. For the Pride, these set pieces can be crucial. Opportunity to get back in this match. From Carson Pickett on the back post, Paños punches it away. Looking for the volley via Corta, slips that to Chanda. Pickett, second ball. And nothing much there. Antonio clears. Saldivar right behind Oyane, who uses Crone. Well, inching forward in this press, América. Chalufia charging forward into the 18, shoots, and it's blocked. She perhaps was looking to find Jackson, but Mejia gets in front of it. Here's Chalufia right into the leg of Mejia, who was sliding in for a tackle. Another change for Orlando. Angelina comes in, Oyane comes out. Angelina, the Brazilian, just won Copa America this summer with the Brazilian national team. In her second year with the Pride. Off the corner kick, drops down, Rafaeli shoots, Panos has it. Rafaeli can be really good on corner kicks. Has finished many a set pieces in her career. Three defenders surround, and then she sticks a leg out, and it's tangled up with Chanda. Chalufia splitting two defenders. Reaching back to the midfield, Saldivar. That's touched away by Chavoshi, now slowed, but América back with possession. Gutierrez. Gutierrez. Alexis Soto. Carson Pickett hanging all over, but playing the advantage here. Palacios dribbles forward. Looking for a shot here. Going down in the 18, no call. Chanda there defensively, and off the shot, saved by Crone. Palacios with the look. Could have been a brace, but McKinley Crone denies. Here's a look at this. Oof, she get tripped in the 18. It surely looked like it could have been a penalty there. That's what Palacios, let's see. Yeah. I don't really see why that wouldn't have been. As Grace Chanda got all legs there. And it will be a corner kick for América. Off the in-swinger, header high. Another look at this corner kick. That was a good ball, but just not a great header from Kimberly Rodriguez. Have to put that on frame. Panos, Chalufia right in front of her, and she's forced to just knock it away. Chanda, Chalufia. Three defenders surround zone. She does get a cross off. Paños races to it and beats Julie Doyle. Saldivar against Rafaeli. Waiting for numbers. Palacios, and it bounces past her. Guerrero. Shot from distance, and it bends out. Angelina. Still that lone goal in the 7th minute from Palacios. That's a difference in this game. We have just over a half an hour to play. Karina Rodriguez with the shove. Julie Doyle slow to get up. Well, Orlando about to make a very big change here. So Luana comes out, Jackie Ovalle comes in. It's a very familiar foe of these fans here at América, and you can see how they feel about their former adversary. And Jackie Ovalle, no love lost. She scored 136 goals with Tigres over 8 years. 103 assists to go along with that as well. And then in August, a flashy transfer over to the Orlando Pride in the NWSL. She scored her first goal in the league against San Diego this weekend. And Ovalle on the opposite side with a lot of these players on América tonight, but plays on the Mexican national team with the likes of Palacios. 81 caps with Mexico. Ovalle, and just 25 years old. We'll see if she can find the back of the net, perhaps. Stepping to Chavoshi. Priska Chalufia. And doing well there, Kimberly Rodriguez. Rafaeli on the throw. There's a look at just some of the physical play that we've seen in this game. Nudged away for América. And nowhere to go for Soto. Saldivar. The 19-year-old. He'll pass wide, but on the same page. Rafaeli on the tackle. Saldivar. Into the box, off of Angelina. Guerrero shoots. It's high. Antonio looking to build. Palacios just out of reach. Does feel like momentum though for América in this game. They would love another goal just to provide some cushion moving forward. Simone Jackson. Ovalle makes a run. And Kimberly Rodriguez, a loud cheer from the fans here in Mexico City, is denying that attack. Another look at this. Ovalle couldn't get there. She pulls up. And it's all ball for Kimberly Rodriguez. Saldivar. Chavoshi wins the battle. Things opening up a little bit here. Pickett. Jackson. Foul. Well, Jackson got the step on Antonio. Chanda. Villamala steps on Villacorta. Villacorta getting stretched out now. See this again. Yeah, just reaches around, steps on the ankle of Villacorta. It's certainly a foul. And you can see the pain Villacorta's in after the fact. Trying to walk that off. Now, Villacorta has dealt with some injuries in her NWSL career. ACL tear, ankle injury over the past couple of seasons. Simone Jackson. And off the pickup, Paños just gonna settle things down a little bit. This has a feel of a semifinal or a final. It's not. It's just to take control of the group, Group A. But with Pachuca looming as well, it's a very crucial game. Saldivar, if she can get there, dribbles into the 18. Off the shot, way high. Villamala is just frustrated with herself after not putting that on frame. It skims off the head of Chavoshi, everybody trying to get back into position. And this has to be a better shot from Villamala, no doubt about it. Chalufia. Now there's a possibility that whoever loses this game doesn't make the semifinal. Orlando's next game is against Pachuca at home. That's going to be a difficult game. Pachuca actually plays tomorrow against Alajuelense, who on paper Pachuca should win that game, but I said this before, they've been keeping things closer maybe than it should have been based on their fantastic goalkeeping. Chalufia, heavy touch. America going to make a sub here. Villamala comes out, and we see Alondra Cabanillas come in. That's just a second sub made for Villacampa and his side. Chanda was hanging all over Saldivar. Gutierrez. Angelina just can't quite bring it in. Seb Hines stopping it here as a throw for America. 20 minutes ago in this game, Concacaf W Champions Cup. It's a group stage, Group A. Guerrero. Saldivar. Ina Chavoshi. Chanda lunging forward. Now we play on. Great tackle by Chavoshi. Had to split for that one. Well, this is Saldivar. That's a correct no call, I would say. She was going down before there was really contact. Gutierrez. Has to touch Angelina. Well, in the final third, this America team, and they double their lead. Kinley Crone getting her side organized off the corner kick. Guerrero. Guerrero, wide open header and read well by Rafaeli. Antonio Palacios, a finish! Gutierrez is there! And it looks like this is going to be called back. We'll see this again. Is Gutierrez offside? Yeah, that's the correct call. So it's not a goal for America. Well, that has only ignited this crowd, I would say. Gutierrez shoots, headed down by Rafaeli. Guerrero slow to get up in the midfield. Limited time left for Orlando to find the equalizer. They found themselves defending for a lot of this half. Rafaeli. Chalufias hunting. Paños to Gutierrez. Guerrero. Some contact there with Chavoshi, trying to barrel through Chavoshi. Gutierrez just had a goal called back. Guerrero slips it in the 18, looking for a cross. Blocked by Pickett, second chance, finished! América takes a 2-0 lead. Well, a lesson in just not giving up on the play. Initial shot is blocked. And Gutierrez just had her goal called back, offside. And this created from Guerrero. Gutierrez makes a run right into the 6, and this one's gonna count. For Hannah Gutierrez, 2-0 lead for the home side. And she wanted that one so bad. The Mexico City native, she's from right here. Has been with this club since 2024, Gutierrez. And now America's feeling really good with a 2-goal lead at home against the Orlando Pride, the reigning champs in the NWSL. With 15 minutes to go, America still has not allowed a goal in this tournament. Jackson, Chalufia shoots! Orlando's on the board. Oh, offside is called. That's so disappointing for the Pride, by far their best chance of this game, but Chalufia a hair offside. As we'll see this again for sure. She had her right leg off. Pushing and shoving. Yellow card given out there. It's Cabanillas. It's just delaying Angelina being able to get this free kick off, and now it's going to be Chavoshi who takes it for Orlando. Concacaf W Champions Cup, the Pride finding themselves down 2 goals. They had not allowed a goal heading into this match. In the 2 previous games, had never really been in a dire situation, and now they are. Palacios, who scored in the 7th minute, nearly muscled off the ball by Chavoshi, but she keeps on playing. Into Rafaeli Gutierrez, off the cross. Nearly an own goal off of Villacorta, but Crone has it. Taking off. Ovalle calling for it. Jackson. Not Ovalle. Off that magical left foot, and she's just wide with it. Well, she is known as the magician. Orlando has not gotten her on the ball nearly enough since she entered this game in the second half. You have to believe she's the best scoring threat. Showing it there with a sliver of space. If somebody's going to get you back into this game, it's going to be Ovalle. El Salvador getting stretched out late in this match. They're still cramping up that left leg. Actually, it's Gutierrez who's down, and here come the trainers. Oh, Gutierrez, the 21-year-old, just scored the second goal for Club América. Limping off there, Gutierrez. So it looks like Gutierrez is going to come out. Sofia Ramos comes in the game. That's the sub via Campame, excuse me, the head coach for Club América. But here's a look at the last goal for Gutierrez off of Carson Pickett. Then it just lands right back to her. And she's able to find the back of the net off of that shot. Gutierrez. Now that might have officially put Orlando away. 10 minutes to go. It does look like America's not going to sub out Gutierrez. She'll stay in this match. Angelina. Chanda. Plays it long for Chalufia, headed down. Chalufia. Via Corta. Angelina. Ovalle. A boot every time she's on the ball. Saldivar wants to add another. Picked up by Crone. And quickly thrown to Chanda. Not a lot of time for Orlando to make up a 2-goal deficit. Ovalle hesitates. Pickett off her left leg. Out of reach. Now, Club América has played a really good match, scoring in the 7th minute thanks to Palacios. They've stayed incredibly organized defensively. They've made it difficult for Orlando to build. Paños has not been tested much in this game. America's had more possession time. They've had the more threatening chances, and they just add another thanks to Gutierrez, another goal. Chilafia. Ovalle. Angelina. Doyle with the touch. Paños has to leap for it. And she makes a diving stop. There's a quick little one-timer there from Julie Doyle. This nearly made it a 1-goal game. Palacios. Villacampo wants a foul call. Saldivar. Shot. Saved by Crone. So close to being goal number 3. Felt like it was slow motion as it bounced just barely wide. Cabanillas almost officially ended this match. This is Saldivar just not giving up on this play, not letting Chavoshi muscle her out of bounds. Just a little pass, and it's perfect. Understands that Hafele and Pickett are ball watching there. And Crone makes a good stop ultimately for Orlando. Villacorta with the foul. Angelina, intercepted by Gutierrez. Chanda wants to play it long to Chalufia, who gets pushed by Kimberly Rodriguez. That is what Villacampo was so frustrated about. He thought Chanda had a little shove there. Oh my goodness, that just took a bit of a wonky bounce. So close to going in there for America. That surely would have sealed the deal. But still, they have to be feeling pretty good with a 2-goal lead. Just a couple minutes left here in this one. Off the turn. Villacampo just looks like telling his side to calm down a little bit. Just protect this lead. Guerrero straight to the corner. We're gonna kill some clock. Palacios. He was the catalyst for Club America to set the tone here against Orlando with her goal in the 7th minute. Well, it is Orlando ball. That's a goal kick for Crone. Angelina. Ovalle. being pestered there. And Ovalle fouls Karina Rodriguez. Straight to the corner again. Chavoshi, Chanda, Chalufia, Angelina. Boy, Orlando just can't get it out of their own end at this point. This press has been pretty lethal for Club America, specifically in the second half. 4 minutes of stoppage time. Cabanillas gets hit in the face there by Chavoshi, hence the yellow card. Let's see this again, just incidental, but absolutely. Cabanillas looks like they'll have to put some eye drops. Might have got poked in the eye. Sepp Hines and his staff, a difficult day on the road here in Mexico. It does look like Cabanillas, just the way she got poked in the eye, it's going to take a little bit more for her to continue. It will push us into the unknown then in stoppage time. Concacaf W Champions Cup. Gutierrez, Guerrero. Imagine they're trying to go to the corner. Orlando knows that too. Guerrero though, there she goes. So because Cabanillas is still getting looked at, America not gonna waste any time here and make a change. So Sofia Ramos comes in. Just wanna make sure you have 11 players out there to protect this lead, America. Guerrero. Saldivar and Antonio. Oh, it takes some true magic for Orlando to score 2 goals at the end of this one. Intercepted by Gutierrez, who's been all over the pitch this game. Guerrero's been so good through the midfield as well. This amount of regains that she's won. Offside against Club America. Might not matter too much. Chalufia. Priska Chalufia makes a couple defenders miss. Trying to find Jackson. Shot from distance. Via Corta blocked. And a whistle that looked like it hit a defender right in the head for America. And that's why Hamilton blew the play dead. Well, the fans here supporting Club America, they're waiting to celebrate. Another look at this. That's just a shot right to the head too, and sometimes it's about where it hits. Still waiting to get this player off the pitch. Unable to walk off now. Oh, the emotions, and that's never good. Club America with a 2-0 win over the Orlando Pride in the Concacaf W Champions Cup. The Liga MX team scores in the 7th minute thanks to their captain Palacios. They add another in the second half thanks to Gutierrez. It's a complete performance for Club America, and they take control of Group A here in Concacaf W Champions Cup.
Nos encontramos con Kiana Palacios. Primero, felicidades, fue elegida como la jugadora del partido. Muchas felicidades y también por la victoria. Sus impresiones de este importante encuentro que le da no solo la victoria, sino también el pase a la siguiente ronda al América.
Pues sí, yo creo que se ve que el equipo está muy feliz. Creo que lo dejamos todo en la cancha y sabíamos qué importante era este partido para nosotras y conseguir la pasada para el Final Four es algo muy importante y era nuestra reta.
¿Cuál fue la clave el día de hoy para poder sacar ese encuentro?
Yo creo que jugando juntas y estar en la misma página. Yo creo que eso nos ha ayudado mucho.
¿Cuál es la expectativa ahora para lo que viene?
Pues seguir trabajando juntas y recuperar todas las lesionadas que tenemos y ojalá ya en este Final Four lo podemos hacer mucho mejor que la pasada.
Gracias.
Gracias.
We are with Luana. Luana, please give us your impressions of this match.
We knew that was going to be a tough match for us on her home with the altitude and everything. I think first half we took some time to adapt to the pressure they were putting on us. We tried to go after the result and we end up conceding the second goal. It was not the result that we wanted, but we're still alive in the competition. We'll keep looking forward.
This isn't over yet. Orlando Pride has a chance to qualify in the next match. How to face the next match?
Yeah, we keep our heads up and we prepare for the next game, and that is going to be at home, and we still get a chance to qualify.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's take a look at the highlights from this one. Club America and the Orlando Pride. This in the 7th minute. Off the initial shot, it's saved by McKinley Crone, the goalkeeper for Orlando, but Palacios is there to finish the job, and that would make it 1-0 very early in this match. Saw a lot of physical play over the course of this game because there's a lot on the line. What was on the line? Chance to take over Group A. And for Club America, this is their final game in the group stage of Concacaf W Champions Cup. So they really wanted to just make sure they were in a good position, knowing that other teams are playing still a week further than them. Paños tested in the first half with that one, able to stop off her fingertips. We just saw a couple of shots just hitting the faces of players, and then this, the best chance for Orlando in the first half. Simone Jackson just slicing, but Paños, no problem for her. Experienced goalkeeper is able to just move to her right and make the stop. Then we start the second half here in Mexico City. Luana with the yellow card. That was the first booking. The captain, just heard from her. And Priska Chalufia, the Zambian, subbed in the second half, showing off her speed, and is denied there. Defensively, Club America was so strong. Still, actually, through this entire group stage, have not allowed and would not allow a goal. A very impressive feat through 4 matches to not concede any goals at all when you consider the level of competition they have faced, including Orlando and Pachuca. Things getting a little more desperate for the Pride. Club America just stayed strong there. And this off a service. And it's tapped in by Gutierrez, but it's ultimately called back. Offside. Just a hair offside. But that's just not going to stop this Club America team. So what do? They make sure this one counts. Gutierrez again. It's Guerrero who somehow keeps it in, and she finds Gutierrez in a very dangerous spot. This Orlando team just gets lost there, and Pickett initially blocks Gutierrez with the second chance, and that would make it 2-0 in the second half. So the Pride, at this point, a very deflating goal to give up in this game. Here's another good look at it. The initial block. And then when you look at it there, Gutierrez is off balance when she scores. Crone makes a really good save here on this shot. And it's off the post. It just dribbles off the line as well, and it doesn't matter. It's a 2-0 win for Club America over the Orlando Pride. They are in first place in Group A. Orlando's next game is against Pachuca. Now, Club America, when you look at the stats, absolutely deserved to win this match. That's going to do it for myself, Maura Sheridan, here in Mexico City. Again, a 2-0 win for Club America over the Orlando Pride in the Concacaf W Champions Cup.